Good night, fellow punchers. The clock on the wall is 10:15 on Friday night. Back with a plethora of stuff for Saturday. Back at base tonight. Well, I'm at base tonight, but I was back in the afternoon. Tired as a dog today. Absolutely wrecked. But it was good crack when you're at it, I suppose. They were good crack, the Canadians. Loved the pub scene, and actually it was strange to see the six of them, three couples, all smokers. First thing they did when they got off the bus every time was have a cigarette, and the last thing before they went on the bus was have a cigarette. Some of them were off them for 3 and 4 and 5 years, but they got back smoking with COVID, with too little to do and boredom and whatever. But I wish they could give them up again, because they're a dirty, dirty habit. You can hear them in the morning puking and half coughing and smokers coughing, whatever. Hate to hear that. I'm off them over 20 years now. I'd be dead if I was still smoking. Because I used to love, when I had a pint years ago, I smoked 30 or 35 or maybe 40 on a Saturday night out when I was younger. But they were a killer. We went to Harley Davidson out in Ballymount. One of them rides a Harley Davidson back home, and he wanted to get t-shirts, which he did, and then I dropped them off at the hotel on O'Connell Street. What do you call it? Down, I can't think of it. Near the Gresham there. So they were going to Murray's straight away for pints, and that was only 11:30, and they were going to Temple Bar then to hear a group play from 4 till 6 or 4 till 7 this evening that we heard in Scots on Monday night. A great that great band that I said we're listening to. They're from America. Can't remember the town now. But anyway, good crack. So I'm back home. I'm away again Sunday morning. The Langers are crying out for me. So I'm 2 nights down there on Sunday and Monday. I have 3 more tours this year, and then I can relax for a few months. We're in Killarney 2 nights, and Galway a night, and Innis, Innis, and then drop them off to Shannon next Saturday. So I mightn't do the last tour yet, because it's coinciding with Breeders' Cup week, unless I'll have a look at the schedule and see how I'm fixed, because I put a lot of time into that every year, so I don't want to mess up one or the other, or I could mess up both. So we'll see. One runner today, Paddy Shack, only seen it on the phone, half bits of it. I actually put in for a snooze on the near Turles Pass. I was absolutely wrecked. I slept for about 20 minutes and woke up at I had to plough onto the yard. I was just landed in the yard with leaving back the bus when the race was on, so a fella came over chatting me, so I had to put it into my pocket. So I was only listening to it, and I didn't hear the horse being mentioned at all, and I didn't bother my ass to look back at it. I thought with the ground today that would improve for the run the way it ran the last day, but obviously not. I didn't get time to put anything up for Fundalk. I didn't see much of it either. Anyway, we'll move on to tomorrow. There's a few here that I had marked out. Actually, I meant to say this morning, but I was half asleep. That race that I showed with Paddy Shack, there was a runner in it that I marked out. The next time I see it on the Goo, I'll back it, and it's back to where it won before. That is Red Hat Eagle, 4-year-old by Gleneagles. But it likes good ground. If you look at the all-weather form, 12 starts, 3 wins, 6 places. So that's 75%. But in Chelmsford there, it won off 77. And it was first time out this year. It was second to Nikovo. And the favourite has Forum tied in with Nikovo as well. So there shouldn't be much between them tomorrow. So the fact that's Barrack is the fav. I go with Red Hat Eagle. We just take a look at his last run. The handbrake was fully on. That's him here, right? And watch where he finishes, 5th. Keep an eye on him.
In theory, a little wider out of Paddy Shack, and Red Hat Eagle is 2 lengths off them, the back marker of the 14. Racing left-handed then and back on into the home straight. Less than half a mile to run, and it is Ndaawi bringing them along here by barely half a length. Bear Force one on the outside, and towards the far side, Aragon Castle as they head down the middle of the track towards the final quarter of a mile. Revich in the light blue colours is shaken up now to the far side of Diamond on the hill. Obelix with that one as they head on down inside the last 2 furlongs. Wider out on the track and looking to make some ground up is Mr. King and also Mursky. A furlong and a bit left to go. Aragon Castle has struck the front and boots away by a length and a half to in second position Ndaawi. Mr. King staying on down the outside and Paddy Shack along the inner, but it's Aragon Castle the one to go and catch. Mr. King putting in some fine late work with Paddy Shack. Aragon Castle just about lost it out from Paddy Shack and down the outside.
He could nearly have won that race if it was a better effort. But back to where he was ran well before, he's only a few pound higher. That's the selection in that race. He was a bigger price earlier. We go to Newmarket. Liberty Lane won the last day. There's a good bit of money there for that ancient Rome, I see, in the last hour. But I'm going with Lead Artist. I think the step up and trip is what this has been crying out for when you consider that it was second to Kinross the last day over 7. But that was the only time he ran over 7. Broke his maiden over, scooted in that day in York. And won a Group 3, beating a good horse there in King's Gamble. The inadequate 7 the last day, step up and trip up to 9 will suit, I think. Yeah, we'll make that the nap of the day, I think. On to, no, will we? We'll go to the Cambridgeshire, or the Cesarewitch, the big one. Man in it, there's 25 declared to run. Won last year by the Shunter as a 10-year-old. Willie Mullins and Emmett, between them, they won 4 out of the last 6. I'm going with an Irish one, and incredibly, Mr. Spencer, Mr. Jamie Spencer. You always want Jamie if you're listening in, if you're looking. Just get it right tomorrow. This is race 92. But if you look at this race here, when it ran after a big long break, what was it, over 3 months, April, May, June, no, over 2 months. It was in Dascott Stakes. Pledge of Allegiance won it. We were on him that day. But it was 7th. And hadn't ran for a while. Ran on well enough. Declan McDonough was riding. Then it won a maiden over 1.5 miles, and it went farther, you'd imagine. Decent horses behind. Then it hasn't ran since it was second to Nürburgring, who was well handicapped in the Galway hurdle. That was good ground. This was third to Lark in the Morning as well. So it's a 12 to 1 shot, 14 to 1 shot with 365. I'm after backing it, and actually there's a 25% boost with them as well, which is grand if it won. And horses, there's only 2 horses rated 100 or more that has won this in the last number of years. Stratham was 101 and Aim to Prosper was 107. You have to go back then to Sergeant Cecil in 2005. 4-year-olds have a decent record in the race as well. 4-year-old last won with Hold and Sweet Selection. They won in 2016 and 17. The last few years you can see Stratham, Great White Shark, Buzz, Run for Ascot. They were all National Hunt horses. A National Hunt horse with a form to run fairly well at 25 to 1 as well as a horse that we won on before. Same stable as well. Keelan Kennedy taking off 5 for Samui. I think good ground. This needs good ground. It's a 25-1 shot to pay in 6 places. Now, it hosed up that time below in Killarney. That was on good to firm. It ran second in York. It was behind Absurd over a mile 6.5. That was a good run. And then the last day behind Alnair, but that was a listed race, but it was soft ground. Harbour wind, but it ran on well. It was 5th at one point, and it ran on well. That was over 2 mile. That could be finishing tomorrow, hopefully, to get it into the money. Ryan Moore is on Queenstown. That is the Cove of Cork. Isn't that what the song used to say? The long hours? He'll know that. I forgot to wish a 51st birthday the other day to Roy Harris. Luke, his nephew, sent it in. I had it written down. I forgot a couple of times. And only when I thought of the long hours there. Happy birthday, Roy. The horse that we backed to win the last day is in this as well. Manxman. But that was in Southall. So, a bus horse. That was, 44 years ago. Sean Bowen taken off, I think it went up 4. So he's taken off 3. It's the only one that backed that the last day. It's the only bus horse that they got tomorrow. Alfonso Legrand, we won on that a few times as well. That's out. Can't back them all though. The 4:30 at York. Why? Oh yes, the 4:30 at York. This looks like it's a plot job for the horse that was second in the race last year, Arrange for Martin Todhunter. It's rated 86 now. It was second in the race last year to punctuation of 85. And it ran well enough the last day to win. It was put up, £2 for it? £3. Let's Be Frank was the favourite. It was second to Story Horse the time before. We seen this race because we picked Percy Shelley out of it, didn't we? Or was that the day? Anyway, we'll see this. I thought it won snug enough the last day. That's it now, the grey horse. We'll get back a bit here. Come back here. You don't want to do it, do you? You do. That's it here.
Wind your neck in, Solent Gateway, Arrange following with filibustering. Percy Shelley has just relegated Diamond of Indisi to be the back marker. Paul Mulrennan gets to work on the favourite. Law of the Sea, the far side trying to cling on to Peace Walk. Then Let's Be Frank changing his legs, trying to come after the leader. Arrange, Solent Gateway, Percy Shelley down the outside, less than 2 furlongs to run. It's Peace Walk. Let's Be Frank try to lay claim to this £100,000 bonus, but here comes Arrange and Percy Shelley. Arrange and Percy Shelley and Let's Be Frank, a furlong left to go. It's the mare Arrange, she's got to the front. Let's Be Frank try to rally on the inside, but Arrange has the advantage as they race up towards the line. Arrange and Let's Be Frank. Arrange has denied Let's Be.
I'm just hoping that this has been the target. Second in the race last year. John Berry's horse Merryjig is the fab, isn't it? Any changes in the last while? Arrange. Each way bet there. 7-1 that's a decent enough price. We won on Sorry Bell before. That was in Kempton, wasn't it? It was definitely on the go. Yeah, in Kempton. That one on heavy ground the last day. We'll go with the Arrange. Plot job, perhaps. 4.25 at Naas. Why did I put that up there? Oh yes, I was looking at a horse that was 10-1 earlier, and I see it's a lot shorter now. last year's winner, Stag Night. £10 claimer on. 93. Won it last year. Looks like, again, I was looking to see was it a plat job. That was 10-1 earlier. There was a bit of money for it. Soft to heavy last year. Had 2 runs before, like to 6th in the stole. And then it ran there into soft to heavy. Yielding ground tomorrow. There's one in Cork of 91. In the spring. Nice run the last day behind Bold Optimist. An each way bet as well. The 240 at York. Why have that up there? Oh yes, that's the big Heritage handicap. There's 22 runners in it. Low draw and a 4-year-old I was looking for. If you look at the draw in this, you have to go back to 2016 to get a double figure, and the highest has been 7. So 7, 4, 7, 6, 5, 5, 2, 50. And then you have to go back again 2012 to get a double digit, and then you had 3 of them in a row. 4-year-olds have a decent record in it there. And the one I came down on was, drum roll please, where are we here? Secret Guest for Brian Smart. Brian Smart hasn't been too smart with the winners lately. But this ran well enough, I thought, in the City of Dales. Shot a bit decent, like Barrador at Dakota Gold. We were on that day, Fortmore. They're decent enough horses. There's money for Eye of Dubai.
Spirit, Baltimore,
that's it, the grey here.
And then comes Eye of Dubai. On the wide outside is the Grey Secret Guest, running now towards the furlong marker. And it is Baltimore, Dakota Gold near side to the far running rail. Quest for Fun still boxing on. Also running on down the centre is Secret Guest. Eye of Dubai, Secret Guest, Eye of Dubai, and Secret Guest, Baltimore and Paradar.
It's normally closer to the pace than that. It came from farther back than he normally is closer up. So it's a big price. It's 12 or 14 to 1. Look at that Bocarazi. How many times we back him? He'll come in some of the times when we don't have a pound on him. There's a couple more there that we backed before. Strike Red, that won for us last year in Ireland. Good old Summergand. So we can't back them all. What price is this lad? 16, 20, 18 to 1. Paying 6 places there are scattered in bookies. 365. Mostly 5 places. I was looking at America tomorrow night for fear I mightn't have a video done. I didn't look at Sundays yet. That's going to spend a half an hour doing. There's a French raider there in the Aga Khan colours. Candala by Frankel. But the form of his last run has been franked by Friendly Soul. This was in a Group 2, and Friendly Soul went on to win a Group 1 last week. Friendly Soul
Just
actually
along at the back of the field as Friendly Soul continues to lead. Candala is out after her though in the green colours and making progress. On the extreme right, see the Boss is beginning to stay on. Bertha also coming from the back of the field, but it's still Friendly Soul. White Jacket has the advantage. Bertha in the brown is moved through into second place, but Friendly Soul will make all. Wins.
Now if you had the forecast done or without the favourite, you'd be wild annoyed there, I'll tell you. Barcelona. Normally, just he done nothing, I thought, coming up the stretch run there. But Friendly Soul has went on to win since. Oh, there was a couple of horses running tomorrow, but the horses were back before. We were on Affadil when it won before, and we were on Irish Hill the last time. There was a big gamble on it. How is Nichols? I haven't followed much of the jumps yet. I had to wait until the middle of October. We're nearly into that. How is he doing the last 14 days? 0 for 8. That's not hectic. Crebbley. Lowry's Bear. Into the park. I'll give it a miss. There was one running at Fairyhouse tomorrow, but we didn't back at the last day. Ragman's Corner. He's a 2-1 fav, but he's carrying 12 stone 6. It won't be that simple. Tom Mullins has one in the same race. It could be a troublemaker. But to get this into the oven, longer waffling on than usual. Bash the bookies over and out.